I see the Bears. I see them beating the Eagles. And then what? Okay, yeah, see that? Okay, yeah, I see them beating the Eagles, and then I see them beating the next team, right? And then after that, they're going to play the Saints. Oh, wait a minute. I mean, they are going to play the Saints in the click, 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 in the click, 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 and they're going to play them in the NFC Championship game. Much love, okay, much love, and then what's going to happen is they're going to be down by they're going to be down and come back and win because I'm sorry. Crap. Can I take over? Can I do a double take? Please. Steve, can I?
I don't think so. Keep going.
Okay. And the Saints. Yeah, the Saints and the Bears. They're going to play an NFC Championship game. Because, see, the Bears, they're going to devour the Eagles, which is one rib. And then the next one that they play, they're going to devour them too. And then it's going to look like they're devouring the Saints, being the third rib in their teeth. And then what's going to happen after that is the Saints are going to come back. It's going to be extravagant, magnificent, come from behind, reach around victory. And then they're going to play. Well, I was already cold on my first prediction. I mean, you could tell I'm a false prophet because I already predicted something wasn't true. See, Robin? You're such you're a liar, Robin, because you said that the Ravens would play in the Super Bowl. Why'd you lie to us, Robin? We're so pathetic that's all we got on you. Oh, man. So anyway, I don't know. They'll probably play the freaking Patriots. I mean, don't they always make it in the playoffs? Like every year since I've been alive. So they're going to play, somebody. I mean, who else is there? There's the Patriots and the Colts. The Colts are there. And who won today? Oh, the Chargers, the bum-ass Chargers, which is the boringest freaking looking team I've ever seen. Yeah, because that's what I see afar off. I'm looking far ahead. I'm just looking at the script because last year, well, the Eagles, they beat the Patriots. They swarmed down and devoured all of our rights and all of the laws and everything. That was the beginning of the fall of man. And now, well, that bear, the Bears, I'm telling you, they're just, it's crazy how they symbolize everything through frickin' sports. Like, come on. So that's what I see. And if I'm wrong, then I guess, I'm a false prophet. It just confirms the falsehood of my predictions because nobody's allowed to make predictions in this world and be right or wrong, hot or cold. You can stay lukewarm if you want. You can just not make any predictions whatsoever and just study demons and demonology. Okay? So put your money guys, look, I have this advice for everybody in the entire world and either live or die by it. So I know you guys believe every word that I say, and you're probably going to be hanging on like, what do you got to say next, Robin? Please, just tell us what you pray what the Lord says to you. Well, I'm just telling you that the Bears are going to make it to the Super Bowl. I mean, not the Super Bowl, to the NFC Championship game. And the Saints are going to beat them because the Saints are going to possess the land. And then that little horn, you know, he's going to come up last after Donald Trump because there's 3 kings before him that he subdues. You know, Donald Trump, Barack Obama, and you fool me once, you can't fool me again. That guy there. And you got the little horn he's a little horn because the other ones are like high profile in the world. You know, like the possibility of 7 billion people can know who they are. But that little horn, not that many people know. I mean, he only has like 100 subscribers. He's nobody important. You know what I mean? So he's going to come up last, and he's, you know, the first Adam, you know, the first and the last, the Adam, the one that's going to sit as the Ancient of Days because he's the oldest guy in the history of existence. You know what I'm saying? He's the oldest guy in the history of the existence of creation. And apparently Jezebel must be Eve, right? Jezebel and Eve? I mean, Jezebel is Eve? Evil? So that's all I got for today's predictions. I figured I'd say it ahead of time. Oh, wait a minute. Let me, just so you know what time it is. Let me get a timestamp here. All right, just hold on, just bear with me here. What's that? Giddy up, horsey.
Introducing Wendy's $5 Giant Junior Bacon Cheeseburger Meal. For $5, this giant comes with double the beef and bacon, nuggets, fries, and a drink. There's nothing junior about it except the price for a limited time.
To Liberty Mutual because they let me customize my insurance. And as a fitness junkie, I customize everything. Like my butt and my calves.
This is a commercial. Here. There we go.
There's the Grand Lady of the Bear. Speed number 96 yesterday. Very well. How was it? From the 30-yard line. First and 10.
Let's go, Nick. Come on. Throw it. Yes. Yes. Stop following me, you stalker. You stay there. So it's the second quarter, and the Eagles are up 3-0. And the Bears are going to win, like I said. And if they don't win, I'm deleting this video. I don't want anybody to see that I made a prediction that didn't come true. Because I don't want to be called a false prophet, taking out the garbage with itchy ears. You know what I'm saying, Derek? You guys are so obvious and pathetic. Obvious. Every last one of you, they're all not going to hell. Because you already are in hell. It's hell living in your vessel, isn't it? It's hell living here on earth in that vessel that you guys have. Because you guys are all like, we're all going to heaven. Nah, you're not. Right now, all of you 450 fake ass people, you know, false prophecies, false prophesying. These are all working for King Ahab. And King Ahab, you need to start acting like King David, the one with the light, the one that has light in his eyes. Can you see through my soul? Huh? What's that? You can? What do you see in my soul, huh? Do you see lying eyeballs? Are you afraid to look directly into the camera, SJD? How come you never have a clear video? All your videos are fuzzy and loud and like you have that old ass computer to try to make it look like you're poor. That's like, I'm surprised I don't hear that when it first starts up, like the old sound of that fax machine sound or whatever. This is just for the record. This is a prediction. It's either going to be hot or cold because it can't possibly be lukewarm if you make a prediction, you know what I mean? If you go out on a limb and say, hey, I think this is going to happen or that might happen, it's only sports, guys. Relax, okay? It ain't like I'm prophesying or anything. I mean, you know what I mean? I don't even know the Bible. I mean, I know some of the Bible, you know? I know, like, let's see, like 1 Samuel, I'd never read in my life. But to those that have familiar spirits and the wizards out of the land, wait a minute, what are you talking about? Chapter 28, verse 3. 28:3. Look that up in Gematria. All right, look it up in Gematria. Now, Samuel was dead, and all Israel had lamented for him, you know, like cried and wept and stuff, and buried him in Ramah. Ramah, all right? Even in his own city. And Saul, hey, speaking of SJD, and Saul had put away those that had familiar spirits and the wizards out of the land. Because the reason I say Saul is because Saul, he had this like fascination with trying to kill King David, right? And from what I've, you know, I watched a video yesterday and they were talking about King David. And Saul, he constantly kept trying to kill King David. And because King David, you know, the W, what's like West Side, right? It ain't really West Side, it's W, because there's two of you. There's the evil you and there's the good you. So the W, you know, with King David, it's like the best, what I'm understanding is King David, there was a good King David, there was a bad King David. There was the good side, the evil side, the light side, and the dark side. They're going to kill the righteous King David, and the dark King David's going to rule for like 3.5 years or something like that. I'm not sure. I'm hoping it doesn't look that way anymore, but I'm praying that it's still going to be that way. So he kept trying to kill him, right? And King David just kept getting away. He just like, and then when they finally met up, something happened where David was talking to Saul, and he's like, "Look, man, you know, I could kill you right now. I could take my guys to kill you, but I don't want to. Even though you're trying to kill me, it's like." And then he's like, "It's all good, Steve. You know what I mean? Like the true spirit of the light of King David is telling King Saul that, hey, it's all good, man. You know what I mean? We're all created by our Father. So why are we trying to kill each other if we're brothers?" So that's what I got out of that. But anyway, And the Philistines gathered themselves together and came and pitched in Shunem. And Saul gathered all Israel together, and they pitched in Gilboa. So that's where they pitched at, their tent. You know, they stayed and hung out. And when Saul saw the host of the Philistines, he was afraid. He started to get a little afraid. And his heart greatly trembled when he saw the host of the Philistines, you know, the host bodies of all the true believers, right? Let me try to pretend I'm not reading here. It's difficult. I'm not really good at it. I would have to practice. And when Saul inquired of the Lord answered him not, neither by dreams, nor by Urim, nor by prophets. And then said Saul unto his servant, seek me a woman that has a familiar spirit, you know, like Jezebel, because I'm kind of attracted to her. And I don't know if that's what it means. Maybe I should shut up and just read, right? I should not interpret anything. Excuse me. I shouldn't try to interpret anything in the Bible, right? Because that way I don't want to be hot or cold. I'd rather stay lukewarm because it's nice and toasty when you don't give your interpretation of anything. And that I may go to her and inquire of her. And his servant said to him, behold, there is a woman that has a familiar spirit in Endor. We'll go grab her. And Saul disguised himself. Yeah, like in plain sight, like pretending that he's a righteous man when he's really evil as a demon. And put on other raiment and went out. And he went, and 2 men with him. And they came to the woman by night. And he said, I pray thee, divine unto me by the familiar spirit, and bring me him up, whom I shall name unto thee. And the woman said unto him, behold, thou knowest that what Saul has done, how he had cut off those that have familiar spirits, and the wizards out of the land. Wherefore then layest thou a snare for my life, huh? Is that what you're trying to do? To cause me to die? And Saul sware to her by the Lord, saying, as the Lord liveth, there shall no punishment happen to thee for this thing. Come on, it's all good. I'm just assuming that's where we're going with this. Then said the woman, whom shall I bring unto thee? And he said, bring me up Samuel. And when the woman saw Samuel, she cried with a loud voice, and the woman spake to Saul, saying, what, hast thou deceived me? And for thou art Saul? And the king said unto her, be not afraid. For what Saul, what'd you see? What thou saw? And the woman said unto Saul, I saw gods ascending out of the earth. And he said unto her, what form is he of, huh? And she said, an old man cometh up, and he is covered with a mantle. And Saul perceived that it was Samuel, and he stopped with his face to the ground and bowed himself. And Samuel said to Saul, why hast thou disquieted me to bring me up? And Saul answered, I am sore distressed, for the Philistines make war against me. And God is departed from me. Yeah, you are going to come to your end, Steve, and none shall help. But you're nobody, right? You're just a poor suffering servant. Right? I get it. And neither by God is not for me and answered me no more. Neither by prophets nor by dreams. Therefore I have called thee, that thou mayest make known unto me what I shall do. Then said Samuel, wherefore then dost thou ask of me, huh? And seeing did I read it? And he departed from me. Wherefore then dost thou ask of me? Seeing the Lord is departed from me, and is become thine enemy? And the Lord has done to him, and as he spoke by me, for the Lord has rent the kingdom out of thine land, and given it to thy neighbor, even to David, because thou obeyest not the voice of the Lord, nor executeth his fierce wrath upon Amalek. Therefore has the Lord done this thing unto thee this day. So apparently Saul has come to his end, it's looking like, and King David is getting ready to take over. And I was just talking about King David, and I just flipped to this page. Yeah, David praises Abigail. David flees to Gath. Is that what? Huh. Look, whatever. It's what I pay. It's the page I turn to. Because thou obeyest not the voice of the Lord, nor executed his fierce wrath upon Amalek, neither has the Lord done this thing unto thee this day. Moreover, the Lord will also deliver Israel with thee into the hand of the Philistines, and tomorrow shalt thou and thy sons be with me. The Lord also shall deliver the host of Israel into the hand of the Philistines. Then Saul fell straightway all along on the earth, and was sore afraid because of the words of Samuel. And there was no strength in him, for he had eaten no bread all day long, nor all the night. Oh, wait a minute. So chapter 27, and David said in his heart, I shall now perish one day by the hand of Saul. Interesting, man. Totally. There is nothing better for me than that I should speedily escape into the land of the Philistines, and Saul shall despair of me, to seek me any more in any cost of Israel. So shall I escape out of his hand. And David arose, and he passed over with the 600 men that were with him unto Achish, the son of Maoch, king of Gath. And David dwelt with Achish and Gath, he and his men, every man with his household, even David with his 2 wives. Man, one wasn't enough. And Jezreel is just Nabal's wife. And it was told Saul that David was fled to Gath, and he sought no more again for him. And David said unto Achish, if I have now found grace in thine eyes, let them give me a place in some town in the country, that I may dwell there, for why should thy servant dwell in a royal city with thee? And that day were Ziklag, person of the kings of Judah unto this day. And the time that David dwelleth in the country of the Philistines was a full year and 4 months. 1 full year and 4 months. All of January, all of February, all of March, all of April. I'm just saying, if it's 1 full year, from like the beginning of 2017, 18. And David and his men went up and invaded the Geshurites and the Jezrites and the Amalek Shamanaks, and for those nations were of old in the inhabitations of the land, and there goest to Shur, even to the land of Egypt. And David smote the land and left neither man nor woman alive, and took away the sheep and the oxen and the asses. But we'll explain that later, Stephen. Hey, Stephen, remember fatness? Again, whether ye have made a road today. And David said, against the south of Judah, and against the south of the Jerahmeelites, and against the south of the Kenites. And David saved neither man nor woman alive to bring tidings to Gath, saying, lest they should tell on us, saying, so did David, and so will his manner, and while he delivereth in the country of the Philistines. And Achish believed David, saying, he has made his people Israel utterly to abhor him. Therefore he shall be my servant forever. And it came to pass in those days that the Philistines gathered their armies together to warfare, to fight with Israel. And Achish said unto David, now thou assuredly that thou shalt go out with me to battle, thou and thy men. And David said to Achish, surely thou shalt know what thy servant can do. And Achish said to David, therefore I will make the keeper of mine head forever. So that, and then that's where I started with chapter 28, chapter 28, verse 3. It's pretty interesting. I'm going to have to read this. Well, and verse 21, chapter 28, verse 21, 1 Samuel. And the woman came to Saul and saw that he was sore troubled, and said unto him, behold, thine handmaid has obeyed thy voice, and I have put my life in my hand, and have hearkened unto thy words, which you speak unto me. Now therefore I pray thee, hearken thou also unto the voice of thy handmaid, and let me set a morsel of bread before you, and eat, that you may have strength when you go on your way. But he refused and said, I will not eat. But his servants, together with the woman, compelled him, and he hearkened unto their voice. So he arose from the earth and sat upon the bed. And the woman had a fat calf. Remember, Steve? Fatness. In the house. And she hasted and killed it, and took flour and kneaded it, and did bake unleavened bread therefore. And she brought it forth. She brought it before Saul and before his servants, and they did eat. Then they rose up and went away that night. Now the Philistines gathered together all their armies to Aphek, and the Israelites pitched a fountain which is in Jezreel. And the lords of the Philistines passed on by hundreds and by thousands, but David and his men passed on in the reward with, I don't know, it says war with Achish. Then said the prince of the Philistines, what do these Hebrews here? And Achish said unto the prince of the Philistines, is not this David the servant of Saul, the king of Israel, which has been with me these days or these years, and I have found no fault in him since he fell unto me unto this day? And the princes of the Philistines were wroth with him, and the princes of the Philistines said unto him, make this fellow return, that he may go again to his place which thou hast appointed him, and let him not go down with us to battle, lest in the battle he be adversary to us. For wherewith should he reconcile himself unto this master? Should it not be with the heads of these men? Is not this David of whom they sang one to another in dances, saying, Saul slew his thousands and David his 10,000s? Then Achish called David and said unto him, surely as the Lord liveth, thou hast been upright, and thy going out and thy coming in with me in the host and good in my sight. For I have not found evil in thee since the day of the coming unto me unto this day. Nevertheless, the Lord favors thee not. Wherefore now return and go in peace, and thou displease not the lords of the Philistines. And David said unto Achish, but what have I done? And what hast thou found in thy servants as long as I have been with thee unto this day, that I may not go fight against the enemies of my lord the king. And Achish answered and said to David, I know that thou art good in my sight, as an angel of God, notwithstanding the princes of the Philistines have said, he shall not go up with us into battle. Wherefore now rise up early in the morning with the servants, master servants, that are come to thee, and as soon as ye be up early in the morning and have light, depart. So, oh crap, I lost the page. So David and his men rose up early to depart in the morning to return to the land of the Philistines, and the Philistines went up to Jezreel. Now, I'm not going to be able to finish this whole, it's only another 2 more pages, but let me see what happens in the end here. Now the Philistines fought against Israel, and the men of Israel, Philistines, now the Philistines fought against Israel, and the men of Israel fled from before the Philistines and fell down slain in Mount Gilboa. And the Philistines followed hard upon Saul and upon his sons, and the Philistines slew Jonathan and Abinadab and Melchizedek and Saul's son. And the battle went sore against Saul, and the archers hit him, and he was sore wounded of the archers. Then said Saul unto his armor-bearer, draw thy sword and thrust me through therewith, lest these uncircumcised come and thrust me through and abuse me. But his armor-bearer would not, for he was sore afraid. Therefore Saul took a sword and fell upon it. Wow, he did? He killed himself and fell upon it. And when his armor-bearer saw that Saul was dead, he fell likewise upon his sword and died with him. Wow. So Saul died, and his 3 sons, and his armor-bearer, and all his men the same day together. And when the men of Israel were on the other side of the valley, and they that were on the other side of Jordan saw that the men of Israel fled, and that Saul and his sons were dead, they forsake the cities and fled, and the Philistines came to dwell in them. And it came to pass tomorrow that the Philistines came to strip the slain, that they found Saul and his 3 sons fallen in Mount Gilboa or whatever. And they cut off his head and stripped off his armor and sent into the land of the Philistines around about to publish it in the house of their idols and among the people. And they put on his armor in the house of Ashdod, and they fastened the body to the well, and I'm running